Well, hey everyone, it's Marcus, and I am in my jungle room again. This time I'm heading over to the Eastern States where I'm talking to Luke McChesney. Luke, of course, is from the huge Melbourne band. They are, of course, Forever Ends. Here, Luke, hey, how are you?
Hello. Good. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. So, literally, you're in rehearsals right now, aren't you?
We are in rehearsals. We've got a show coming up this week. We jumped on a very spontaneous show where we're playing on a skate ramp in an underground bar, which is so fun.
I mean, why wouldn't you though? Like, right?
Exactly. Like 16-year-old pop punk me would die to play on a skate ramp. It's the most punk rock thing in the world.
A 39-year-old me would love to do that as well. I don't know. Go with it.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Just go with
29-year-old
it.
me thrilled about it.
Hey, I just want to say, first of all, congratulations on the new EP. I'm still trying to find myself. I mean, who isn't, right? Come on. The album is phenomenal. It really is a killer album. I'm going to talk about one of my
Thank
favorites very shortly. But first of all, are you pleased with how it's been received? Because it's only just come out. Are you happy?
Yeah, it's been a week. Yeah, we feel incredible about it. It's we've said it a few times, but it's really nice to put out a record that we're so proud of start to finish. I think in the past we started this band when we were very young, and while we were on hiatus, if people were like, "Oh, what did your band sound like?" We were like, "Oh, listen to this record, but skip this song, and remember that we wrote these when we were 17." And this really feels like the first body of work that we've put out that everyone's like, "Oh, this sounds authentic. This sounds like you." The response has been incredible, and we're so proud of it.
14 years the band has been around, which is a good, decent amount of time. I mean, and you put out some incredible music in that time as well. Um, Going back to the early days, the 14 years ago, how did the bands come together?
I mean, we were so young. I think myself and Maverick, which is our bass player, we were 15 years old, I think. But even before Forever Ends Here, we had a band with the two of us and my brother, Kane, who drums for us. We literally just started playing like band competitions around the Northern Beaches in Sydney, where we grew up. And we would, yeah, I mean, we'd jump on little competitions at the shopping mall, and we were just listening to bigger bands and wishing that we were them. I guess it started as a little hobby, and then I think pretty quickly we were like, oh, we could do this properly. Like this makes sense for us. Yeah, but so long ago. We were young kids, but we were just so passionate. I mean, to sound cliche, we were kids with a dream, and we chased that to try and make it happen. So,
Stay young and always have that dream, right? Of course, Forever Ends Here is made up of Luke, yourself, Kane, and Maverick. And I mean, what an incredible unit, what a tight unit.
Mhm.
Let's stay back in the early days for a minute. When you were creating the band, who were you listening to that really inspired your direction?
There were a few. The first one that comes to mind is All Time Low. They were my favorite band growing up. I absolutely loved everything that they put out, and particularly admired them as songwriters. One of the very early opportunities we got as a band, we were at an All Time Low show, and Alex, their singer, got quite sick and had to leave halfway through the show. And by sheer coincidence, I was there, and a few of our fans were nearby, and they said, "Hey, get Luke to come sing for you." And I actually got up on stage and sung with them, which was one of the very early opportunities we had that kind of got us in front of people, which was exciting. So we hold them very close. Another band that comes to mind is Short Stack, who are now great friends of ours, and we've played many shows together now. But I mean, 11-year-old me was the biggest Short Stack fan in the world. We would queue up for hours on end to go to a meet and greet and meet them. So it was really nice to come full circle. I'm a big fan of being a fan of your friends, and so there's so many other artists in the Australian scene who we know personally and have had some great opportunities with bands like Tonight Alive as well, who very much inspired us in the early days. So I think we listened to a lot of Australian music. I really think that shaped who we were, and that we sort of saw the magic in the Australian scene and went, we want to be part of that, and so we looked up to a bunch of Australian bands.
And let's go even further back then, Luke. So when you were a kid, in the bedroom, who were you listening to on the radio, on the CD player, all of that?
That's a great question. People don't usually dive back further than the band. I was a theater kid. I grew up in musical theater, doing musicals. So I was that kid listening to the Wicked soundtrack in my bedroom, and wishing I was Simba in The Lion King. And then, I mean, I was a dancer as well growing up. I loved Justin Timberlake. I was that kid that would do makeshift microphone stands out of a broomstick and learn the dance routines and perform them in my bedroom. But I think the earliest memory of getting into like pop punk music and things that made me want to be in a band was Green Day. I remember hearing the American Idiot album when it came out, and because I was a theater kid and it's essentially a rock opera, it's so theatrical. I was like, this is magic. What is this? And that was the moment that I was like, I'm gonna learn guitar and I'm gonna play music now.
Your story is too similar. How we were not brothers, separated at birth, I've got no idea. I think our parents
Crazy.
have got a surprise for us.
The theater
By the
kids have a way of finding each other.
way, Marcus was adopted out. We couldn't deal with him. He had too big a head. The guy.
That's so funny.
Hey, but so you said the Wicked, you said Wicked soundtrack. Have you seen the new
Yep,
Wicked yet? For good?
I have. I saw it the day that it came out. Couldn't wait.
How was it? I've not seen it yet. Is it okay?
Look, I preferred part one. I was skeptical only because, sorry. Um, yeah, I was skeptical only because all of the Wicked bangers are in part one.
Yeah.
And I knew that coming into the movie. Look, I think they did a great job with what they had. It was very fun. I just think Wicked Part One was one of the best movies ever created. So good. And part two was great, but I don't think it was quite as great as part one. But I enjoyed it. You should absolutely still go see it.
I will definitely because I'm a fan. I mean, you know that already now. But
Yeah.
hey, what was the big first show that you ever went to that you said to yourself, I want to be on stage to like playing to all these people in these arenas, in these stadiums? What was the first big
Yeah.
show?
I was 11 years old and I queued up for about 8 hours with my brother who's in the band and our best friend Ben to see Simple Plan at the Hordern Pavilion. We were in the front row and Pierre came down to the front row and put his arm around me when they sang I'm Just a Kid because I was a literal child in the front and he's obviously gone. Here's a kid that's queued up all day. And it was such a special moment. And I remember thinking to myself, this is what I want to do one day. And we had a full circle moment where we then toured with Simple Plan many years later, and they
Wow.
were incredible people. And I told him the story, and we were on tour with them on my 21st birthday. And he brought me out on stage and got the crowd to sing Happy Birthday to me. And we did a birthday shot on stage together. And then I went backstage and cried happy tears thinking about that moment when I was 11 years old and in the front row of their show.
That is mad. Of course, the big artist touring. I mean, we've had so many artists touring Australia just recently, whether it be Oasis, oh my God,
Yeah.
Metallica. It's just the list is going on at the minute. I feel like all the overseas artists are coming to Australia. Of course, right now is Lenny
Yeah.
Kravitz, who, infamously now has had four dreadlocks ripped out by a crazy fan in Brisbane. Not okay.
Yeah.
Not
Wild.
okay. Keep away from the hair, guys. Keep away from the hair.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing that's most protected.
What's the craziest thing that's happened to you at a show?
Oh, that's a good question. We're super lucky with the fan base we have. Everyone's so lovely and yeah, so respectful. I honestly, one of the craziest things was when we came off our hiatus, we didn't realize how invested people still were in the band and how excited that they would be to see us back. And we had multiple people that flew around the country and did the entire tour and queued up for every show to be in the front row. And that's always so special to us. The fact that people will spend their hard-earned money to literally come on a tour just to see us every night is wild. So it's happened a few times now, but it always just feels so special that people care enough to do that.
That literally leads me into your next, into
But
my,
thankfully, no hair pulled out.
yay. My next question literally
Yeah.
is in relation to your response just then. And that is that, when you had that little bit of a hiatus between that first album and then now this EP, what brought that on? What were you doing?
We kind of were at that age where all of our friends were getting full-time jobs and moving out of home, and probably to put it simply, the band was a full-time job that wasn't paying us a full-time income.
Yeah.
And we were at that point where we were like, is this sustainable? Can we do this at this level? I think we got a little bit lost genre-wise at the time. In hindsight, I think we were trying too hard to make it a career that was monetized and, for lack of a better word, sold out. We started playing music that didn't quite feel authentic to us and trying to fit into gaps in the scene. But what we should have been doing was just being true to ourselves. And that led us to this point of uncertainty where we're like, I think we just need to step away from it for a while, figure out who we are and, who we are as people outside of the band and what inspires us to do what we do. And we didn't know whether we would come back as a band after that. Myself and Mav had a side project that we went and worked on where we were playing like 80s synthwave music, which was just, I guess, more of a passion project.
Yep.
But I think, yeah, after having about 5 years off, we were just like, it's a gravitational force that was just pulling us back. We're like, there's no world where we're not going to keep doing this. And so it feels good to be back. And I think having had that break means that we can appreciate it a lot more now for what it is. And I think we stop and smell the roses a bit more now when we get these opportunities. We can really see, how great that is to have those opportunities and how many people would kill for that. And so we can kind of stop and be grateful for it. And we missed it when we didn't have it. And so now we really know the special things that we have.
And I think you'll find you speak to any major artist, any major bands, and all of them have gone through that period where they've tried to, be put into other people's boxes and, be constrained by other people's, opinions of what they should do. So,
Mm.
it's all part of I hate saying the word journey, but it's all part of the journey of, discovering
Yeah.
who you are as artists, really, isn't it?
It is.
Um,
100%. I think we were also super lucky that we got to discover that when we were young, because we were so young when we started the band. We went through all of that and we came off hiatus and we were still only 26 years old. We're like, we've got plenty of time to do this. Like this is, we've gone through all these life lessons and we've done this and we're still a young band. And I also think age doesn't matter in the music scene now. I mean, there's artists that are blowing up that are all ages.
Exactly. Hey, so on that, someone coming up in the ranks now, again, doesn't matter what age they are, but someone coming up in the ranks in the music industry, what is the best piece of advice that you've learned that you could actually pass on to them?
It would be do what feels authentic to you, follow your gut. There's always going to be people in the industry telling you what you should do and telling you how to get successful and what your path is. And the truth is, there's not one correct answer. There's not one path that is going to lead you there. So do what feels right to you. That will feel authentic and that will resonate. If you are being your true self on the internet and your true self through your music and your true self on stage, people will connect with that because they will feel that it's real.
Yes. Now, Luke McChesney, let's talk about the album. The album is amazing, everybody. I've listened to it over and over. My favorite, I mean, all of them are really cool, right? Don't get me wrong. But one of my absolute favorites, and I really resonate with it, lyrically, it's beautiful. Forehead, amazing. It's pure
Thank you so much.
brilliance, and it needs to be a hit. I know that you're not allowed to have your favorites because they're all your children, but is there a particular song on the EP that you really resonate with more than the other?
My favorites change over time. I get really excited when it's new. So as soon as I've written one, I'm like, this is the one. And then we write the next one. I'm like, this is the one. Look, Forehead is very, very special to me. It's one of the most honest songs I've ever written. And I think, I mean, it helped me so much through a breakup. Every single lyric in that song is 100% honest. Nothing is exaggerated. Nothing is made up. Nothing is there for the sake of the story of the song. Every single thing in that song happened. And I went through this big breakup and I was a mess for 2 or 3 months. And I wrote that song and the next morning I woke up and listened to it and I was like, I'm okay now. And it just took getting that out to get to that point. So I hold that song very, very close. It's very, very special. I think probably at the moment, and mostly because we've just started playing it in the rehearsal room this week because we're about to debut it live, is About It, the first song on the EP. I love a high energy song live. I love a song that I can dance around to, a song that the crowd's going to jump to. And that song just, it gets me going every time. It's a fun one.
Hey, so when you're writing the music, what comes first for you? Is it the melody? Is it the lyrics? And it probably is
Yeah.
different all the time, but what's your story there creatively?
It Yeah, it changes depending on the song. It changes depending on who I'm working with. Something we got to do a lot on this record was collaborate with more writers and artists, which back in the day we were very like closed off to that. We were, these are our songs and we want to create them without any other input. But yeah, a lot of these songs, some of them I wrote overseas. Don't want to talk about love. I wrote in LA and I came to the studio with the hook idea. I had the I don't want to ask because I don't want to know. I don't want to talk about love, and that's all I had. And I came into the studio and we then, created the song around that, created the music and the melodies. But sometimes it is that you get the whole song lyrically and melodically, and then you come in and you go, okay, what's the music for this? Sometimes you work off an instrumental. It definitely changes every time.
Um, Again, like it's just a really, really good EP, and there's been a couple of videos that have already dropped from the EP as well. Do you enjoy doing the visual element behind the music at the same time as well?
I love it. I mean, for work outside of music, I'm a creative director and I work with a lot of artists on their visuals as well, a lot of other artists. So that's my wheelhouse. That's my baby, is creating those visuals. I've recently started directing music videos, so I'm actually really excited to get into that for the new Forever and Sea music and actually start, not only being in the videos, but actually, being behind the scenes in creating them as well. So I love that side of it. The music video we did for Don't Want to Talk About Love is my favorite music video we've ever created. It
So
was so fun.
it truly is a great video. And you know what? Diversity, variety is absolutely the thing that keeps us fueled and keeps us going. So credit to you. Hey, now the big one. Are you ready? Um,
Right. I'm
when
ready. I'm on the edge of my seat.
Australian tour, when is it happening? Because we need you over here in South Australia in Adelaide. What's going on? Are we allowed to talk
We
about that yet?
Yeah, well, look, there's definitely things in the works. Honestly, I'm going to be totally transparent about this. We have actually struggled in the last 6 months to get on shows, and I think a big part of it is overcoming this hurdle of being the band from 10 years ago. And I think since we've released the EP, even in the last week, we've seen a huge shift where people are like, "Oh, Forever and Team mean business. They're a new band again, and they're really, active, and they're putting stuff out." And since then, we've had multiple show offers and tour offers come through literally in the last week that we're in talks of at the moment. So there's definitely things in the works. We are playing a big EP release show in Sydney in January. And hopefully we will be tapping on Melbourne around the same time. And then not too far afterwards, I'm hoping we'll be back in Adelaide and Brisbane as well.
Good, good, because we need it. We need that happening. We want to hear that music
Yeah,
live. Um,
we miss you guys.
oh my God, we miss you. Hey, so 2026, last question for you, because I know you got to go off to rehearsals, but 2026, what do you want to achieve with the bands?
I Segueing off the last question, I want to play shows. I miss being on stage. We've spent the last year, 2 years actually, working tirelessly on this record and, behind the scenes in the studio. But I just miss that physical connection, being on stage, seeing people in person, having people sing the lyrics back, having people dancing in front of us. So 2026 is the year for Forever Ends Here shows. We'll be back on tour. We'll be playing as much as we possibly can. Um, to give a big goal, I would say we would love to play overseas this year as next year as well. I think that'll be our hopefully our first international show.
Manifest that, Luke. Manifest it. You deserve it.
Absolutely.
You are too talented. The EP,
Oh,
everyone, is I'm Still Trying to Find Myself. And the band is Forever Ends Here. We've been speaking to Luke McChesney. Luke, have yourself an amazing 2025 Christmas. Congratulations on the
you too.
EP. And I can't wait to chat again and see you in Adelaide really soon.
Absolutely. We'll let you know when we're coming. We would love to see you in person and play for you. This has been an absolute pleasure. It's been so fun.
Yes. See you, my friends.
Awesome.
Bye.
Thanks, Marcus. Bye.